Masters here at Barcelona. I am Travis Nestor. Here for the final round of this championship. Riker Lummel, first car on track for qualifying. Our championship has already been locked up by Ridwan Hamza, but still other positions up for play. AJ Knickel, he's actually also got Pete. I think the top three probably. No, actually, top two are locked up. Knickel and Hamza, not in that order, opposite order, are locked up for P1 and P2. Rosario, though, not here with us tonight, is in P3. He could get jumped here tonight by Stein Roby Chad, who is here. There he is. Fourth car on the racetrack, and his scheme is unfortunately, livery, I'll say, is unfortunately not loaded. I don't think Steve Kuntz is with us, or yeah, Steve Kuntz also not here, our 5th place in the championship. Neither is Keenan Kimber 6th, or Adam Polk 7th, so a lot of cars not showing up here tonight for the finale. Kind of a common occurrence here in league racing, but nonetheless, the series moves on as Riker Lummel will be the first to start a timed lap, followed by Jamal Stallings. Logan Cool making his 2nd start of the season, as I was informed by himself. Not too far behind Roby Chad, Knickel, Hamza, Cazzola, Gallinoso here tonight with us. Marcus Snow, Joe Fabian, and Jonathan Jurgens are our last car on track. 11 drivers. First time we haven't had a full lobby this season too, so might be a little bit different running order here tonight. Maybe a new podium finisher. How did this feel? Let's do a quick count. 1, 2, 4. I think 5 of these guys have gotten podiums. Yeah, 5 out of the 11. So 6 drivers, chance to get the first podium of the season. I think only, I think 3 of these guys have a win, Roby Chad, Knickel, and Hamza, so 8 people still looking for their first, 8 drivers, I should say, not people, 8 drivers looking for their first win of the season. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer super close last week, we'll go back to him. He was right in the thick of it. Unfortunately, he couldn't come away with it. Fuel strategy prevailed to Steve Kuntz to the win, but he was able to get P2 after a stewarding decision knocked Rosario down to about P6. So Jurgensmeyer is still pretty happy with the results he has had in his inaugural GT7 season. 2 podiums on the season, heading in strong into our next season, which will be Super Formulas. That'll start fairly soon. We'll have at least 1 off week, maybe 2. I'm not exactly sure on that. The roster is also starting to get filled out for that. We'll go over those rosters maybe later in this, maybe in between qualifying and the race. But nonetheless, Riker Lummel coming down the final straightaway into the kink. Hard braking left-hander. Going to be the first one to complete a lap. We'll see where he is able to time out here. It's going to be around a 2-minute lap time here. So with the 29 lap main event that we got, I guess not main event, unlike our other sprint feature, it's just a endurance race here. 29 lap enduro. Riker Lummel, 205.5, Jamal Stallings, or no, 205.2, sorry, 205.3 from Jamal Stallings. Logan Cool next to finish his lap. It's going to be a little bit off of that, 210.3. Roby Chad, his lap time got him fast, or no it didn't, it just lied to me. 209.9 for Roby Chad. Knickel next to finish his lap time, 208.4. Ridwan goes top of the board for provisional pole with a 202.4. Monster lap from Hamza. Luke Allen goes P4 with a 205.6. Joe Fabian, he went a little farther. Oh, wait, no, he was P5. But Fabian with a really solid lap, 207.4. I'll put him P5 because it doesn't look like he had a great lap. 217.5 from him. Marcus Snow going to be finishing up his first time lap here at the line. It's not going to be on pace with these other drivers. Looks like he might have had an issue, and then we'll follow along Jonathan Jurgensmeyer here for this final 3 corners that he'll have. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer will head into the final corner now. Looks like it's going to be a pretty quick lap from the American. Jurgensmeyer at the line. P2 for Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, 204.2. Sets the tone for his qualifying session. He'll hope to improve on that next time around, but we'll go back up here to Riker Lummel, who hopefully is up on his time lap. Doesn't look like he is at the time being. P3 right now regardless, still a really good lap for Riker Lummel. Same with Jamal Stallings. Jamal Stallings put in a flyer there to put himself into P4. So a little bit off of Hamza, but nonetheless, really good qualifying start here for Jamal Stallings. And a little bit of a difficult season for him. Hasn't had the results I'm sure he wanted, but see if he can improve on this lap. I'm sure he will. Oh, he got really loose off that corner. At the line, Jamal Stallings goes up to P3. Only a 10th off of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer with a 2:04.3. Riker Lumbel decided to dive it into the pit lane. If we can find him, I think Roby Chad is... Nope, not Roby Chad. Someone else that's coming to the line. I'm not sure who it is. Guess we'll follow along with Luke Allen because I can't find that man who was going across the line. Luke Allen looks like he's going to improve on this time since he's coming around and decided to dive into the pit road. At the line, Luke Allen with a... not an improvement at 2:05.8. Anyone else coming around? Stefan Robichad on an out lap. Marcus Snow, I'm sure, is coming around for his first time lap. Gabe Cazzola goes a little bit faster at 2:09 flat. That'll put him up in the P8 ahead of a Robichad. So these guys that are coming out of the pits now, they're probably only going to get maybe a lap or two in. Marcus Snow at the line goes P6 on his first official lap without an incident. 2:05.7 for him. Good lap from Marcus Snow. Striker Lummel with the penalty. That'll force him to... Oh yeah, no, that's a big penalty. So unfortunately for him, he must have crossed a pit line. Thankfully it's an out lap, so hopefully that'll get served before he serves that penalty, or starts his lap, I should say. Marcus Snow, I'm trying to see anyone who's on a lap here. Gabe Cazzola on a lap up the mountain. Same with Stefan Robichad, 3 cars on a lap. Follow along with, I think Marcus Snow is the farthest. Oh no, it's Gabe Cazzola, so we'll go along with Gabe Cazzola here. He's the farthest on a lap. This will be his final lap. I think that'll get him, or that'll improve his starting spot a second up on it. So that would move him up a couple of spots if he can keep that down the mountain here. Ooh, got really wide into the wall goes Cazzola. That's going to ruin this lap. He's going to want to get out of the way for Luke Allen, who goes for a spin back there. So Luke Allen, unfortunately, going to go around on that lap. We'll see if we can hit a sector time and see how Gabe's lap was affected by that. I'm sure it was affected pretty mightily. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got the speed here down the straightaway. That affected him quite a bit. Still 2/10 up regardless with that huge mistake down the mountain, but it's not going to be enough to gain a position unless he did something really bad through here. Cut back to Robichad once Gabe Cazzola is able to come across the line here. So you see, not too far ahead of Gabe Cazzola. Rigo Hamza starting his final lap of the session. It'll actually be the final car to get or I guess not. But Gabe Cazzola, a faster lap time, not enough to improve. We'll go back to Robichad now. 7.5 seconds off your provisional pole sitter, Ridwan Hamza. Svein Robichad at the line. It's going to go to P2. Not enough to knock off the pole sitter. But P2 nonetheless for Robichad. Great lap from him. A 2:0.39 as I had to change cameras to see where he was. Next driver to finish a lap should be Marcus Snow, but he's calling it quits for qualifying. Trying to see who's the most going long here so we can follow along with him. It might be Jurgensmeyer. We'll see if it's anyone else besides him. Nope, it's Jurgensmeyer. Alright. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, he's going to come out of the final, or off the mountain section, I guess I should say. I was about to say off the final corner, but it's not true. We'll see if he's up on his lap time down the straightaway. Nice little camera view. I've not actually seen that camera view before. Pretty cool camera view. He's a 10th down on his lap. Not able to improve on it so far. See if he can find any speed here through these final 3 corners. Hard braking really sent it into that corner. See if it can help him through this final corner to improve on his starting position. He's not going to be enough for pole, but he still could have enough for P2. Maybe got off in the grass a little bit there off the final corner. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer at the line is going to go P3. Improves on his lap time, but not enough to steal pole. It's Riker Lumbel now coming through the final corner here in a second. Trying to improve on his lap time. Solid corner from him. We'll see at the line if he can improve. Goes faster, but I don't think it was enough to improve. He might have jumped up ahead of Luke Allen, but not much farther. Jamal Stallings was side by side with Logan Cool. Logan Cool was able to improve on his time. Ridwan Hamza goes even faster. 2:01.4 for Hamza. Insane lap time from Ridwan. Robichad going to be finishing up his lap time. I think Knickel, yep, there we are. Knickel sets his first really quick lap time of the session, a 2:03.1. We'll see if Robichad can jump him at the last second. He will. P2 for Robichad at the very last second. 2:03.1, and there's one last car back there. It's Fidel Fabian. I don't think this is a very quick lap from Fidel, unfortunately, because he's already at the 2-minute mark before the final corner. So that'll be it for qualifying. He's not going to improve on that time. So we'll run down the order here very quickly. Ridwan Hamza, 2.5 ahead of the field with a 2:01.4. Insane pace from Ridwan. Svein Robichad P2, great lap time from him. AJ Knickel P3, got it at the very last second. A little bit of a struggle here in qualifying, but still nonetheless able to come out with a podium in qualifying. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer P4, right behind his 44 Racing teammate. Jamal Stallings P5, best qualifying result of the season for him. Great lap time. Riker Lummel P6. Luke Allen P7, Marcus Snow P8, Fidel Fabian and Gabe Pizzola teammates for Turn 1 Autosport P9 and P10. And then Logan Cool round out your field here in P11. So we'll wait for qualifying to finish it up. Not actually really sure what we're waiting for. I think it might be Gabe Pizzola because that's where the fire. I think it's Pizzola and Snow. So it's those two. Well, I guess they can't really do anything. Once the timer runs down here, we can get that started. There we go. Alrighty. So I think it's gonna be who can beat Ridwan for this race here. 29 laps you're gonna have to try and knock him off that pedestal. I mean, your Group 3 Masters champion. Can anybody close the season out with beating, I mean, undoubtedly the best driver in this series? I mean, he's gonna win the title by, if not 100, almost 100 points over AJ Knickel. It's just really impressive stuff here, what Ridwan was able to accomplish this season. Won a race for 7 straight races, won all the feature events. I mean, until last week where Steve Kuntz was able to steal a win with the fuel strategy from Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Fernando Rosario, I should mention. He was also up there with Jurgensmeyer. But, I mean, still, he could still complete the streak. He could still win in all 9 events, but it's going to be a tough ask here. Top 3 are all really, really quick drivers. All have a win on the season. Top 3 are the only people in this race here with a win. So, see if anybody farther back in the field can knock them off that pedestal. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer would be the guy I would look out for as someone who could steal a win here tonight. So we'll wait for the red lights to appear here. There they are, 3, 4, 5 red lights now. There we go, Ridwan Hamza. I don't think he got the jump he wanted. Svein Robichad got a really good jump though. He's gonna try and look to the outside of Hamza entering turn 1. It's not gonna happen though. Hamza able to cover him off. Svein Robichad doesn't get off the corner well. Now he's gonna be under pressure from Knickel here. AJ Knickel over the side of him. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer might give his teammate a push here down the straightaway. Is he gonna tuck in behind his teammate entering the second corner? Yeah, Knickel easily able to get by Robichad. Jurgensmeyer trying to follow through. Robichad kind of sent it in there, not enough to get back to the inside of Knickel, but he'll have the, and AJ Knickel will still have the preferred line, even though he's side by side with Robichad. Oh, he might have pushed Robichad into the wall there just a tiny bit. I think Robichad was expecting a little more room as they continue to go up the hill. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer trying to find a way around, trying to follow his teammate. Ridwan Hamza starts off his quest to try and get away from all of these guys. He's already got at least a second lead on Knickel as the ticker's not doing me any help here. Jamal Stallings all over the back of Jurgensmeyer. Honestly, might have gotten into the inside wall there as he tried to hit the apex for that corner. Now he's side by side with Luke Allen. Luke Allen had to give him that spot back. He didn't want to go side by side through there. It's back up here. Ooh, Jamal Stallings really loose through there. Might have spun out the car. Good save from Jamal. Thought he was going around there for a second. Able to gather it back up as Jonathan Jurgensmeyer now tries to use the slipstream to his advantage on Robichak. Got a really bad exit off that corner though. Not able to take advantage of it. We'll go back here where Luke Allen is all over the back of Jamal Stallings. He's going to use the slipstream to his advantage. Going to look to the right-hand side. Made a quick dart back there. Preferred line for this corner, but not for the hard braking left-hander. But he's going to have the move done before the corner even starts. Jamal Stallings back into P6. Luke Allen with 2 positions gained on this initial start. This initial lap, I should say. Jamal Stallings, though, trying to go back at him here. All over the back bumper of Luke Allen. Not going to try and move into this corner, though. Going to allow Riker Lumble to get to the inside of him. Might have made a little contact with Jamal. Riker with aggressive move as a turn T1A car is off. That's Gabe Cazzola. He got off in that corner. I'm not sure if he had any contact or not. He did go off. Riker Lumble not able to make that pass for P6 stick. He'll have to fall back to P7. Maybe Fidel Fabian going to look at trying to get after him. So we'll go back up front. Jurgensmeyer starting to lose Robichad as Robichad tries to reel back in Knickel, who apparently is 2 minutes behind Ridwan Hamza, according to Gran Turismo 7. Obviously not true, but nonetheless, Robichad tries to reel in Knickel. Everybody, we'll go through the tires here. Top 2 on mediums. Jurgensmeyer and Knickel, or Jurgensmeyer and Robichad both went softs. Luke Allen mediums, Jamal Stallings softs. And then soft. So most of the field on softs, a few stragglers on mediums. See which one is the better strategy in this race. So Robichad continues to reel in Knickel. It was a second as they started their ascent up the hill. It's about 9/10 now. Was down to 7 at one point. Ooh, might have got over the wall a little bit there. Really tried to cut that close. Jurgensmeyer is going to have a huge run out of that corner as he tries to take the final podium spot away. He's going to use the slipstream to his advantage down this long straightaway. See if he's able to make a move into the kink. Might have to wait to the hard braking left-hander. Continues to use the slipstream down to 2/10 now, entering the kink. We try a late braking move, not close enough to have that happen. He's all over the back of Robichad. Robichad feeling the pressure as he tries to reel in Knickel. Come out of the final corner. Jurgensmeyer within 5/10 still. Ridwan Hamza is good. There we go. Ticker's fixed now. Ridwan completely checked out of this battle. He's 5 seconds up the road already. I mean, I don't think these guys really had a chance anyway, but got to be a little bit demoralizing for these guys. AJ Knickel, though, under pressure from Stefan, having to fend him off still. As Jurgensmeyer wasn't able to make a move on him through those final 3 corners. Knickel's now under all the pressure. Robichad trying to look for a way by. As they continue their ascent up the hill, Knickel continues to lead over these two for P2. Go back to Jurgensmeyer. Might have brushed the wall a little bit there off that corner. This little chicane-like corner. Nice left to right switch back there. Knickel starts to gain a little bit more ground over Stefan. Stefan had a really nice exit there. Got it back to within 5/10. It's a really interesting line into that corner. A little bit different from Knickel, and that's going to allow Jurgensmeyer to once again have a nice run off. Might have touched the wall a little bit, but still within 4/10. Stefan also within 4/10 of P2. AJ Knickel, he's going to have a huge run down this straightaway. See if he's able to make the move into the hard braking left-hander. He's going to look to the left-hand side, not able to make it happen, but Jurgensmeyer sends it up the inside. Stefan was a little bit cautious there and it bit him. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer takes over the final podium position. Now he'll try and go after his teammate, AJ Knickel. Oh man, he had a huge run on Knickel there. Got it within 2/10 of the run off the corner there. Tried to get on the gas a little bit earlier. Gonna be to the outside of Knickel here. Not gonna make that work though. He dives back in lane. Ooh, a bulletin board, or not bulletin board, a brake board in the middle of the track. Juergensmeyer all over the back of his teammate. He's backing up those corners really early and getting the run off and just able to pounce on these guys. That's what he did to Knickel there off the corner, or off the penultimate corner. As he looks to the right-hand side, he'll easily make the pass on Knickel. That might have been a little bit of a let through. Knickel not wanting to battle him, just let him by. So now we'll have to defend from Robichad here is Jonathan Juergensmeyer. He'll see what he can do to try and limit the loss here of time that they've lost in 4 laps to Ridwan Hamza. Or I guess 3.5 really, it's not even 4. 10 seconds up the road is Ridwan. He's further back. Jamal Stallings looks like he's fallen through the field quite a bit actually. Unfortunate for him, he had a really good qualifying session, but hasn't went his way in the race. Gabe Cazzola, he was P11 after that incident on the first lap. He's back up to P8, trying to chase down his teammate Fidel Fabian in P7. Luke Allen has kind of gapped Riker Lummel through their small little battle. He's not too far back of this top, or 2nd through 4th battle. Knickel trying to stay with his teammate here, trying to pull away from Robichad. Robichad actually lost quite a bit of time. Take that move from Juergensmeyer, caught him off guard, and then he's just been falling back ever since. Let's come to the final 3 corners once again. Knickel already lost a second on this lap to his teammate Jonathan Juergensmeyer. This looks like Juerg just simply has the faster car right now. Those softs doing Juergensmeyer quite well. AJ's mediums not so well for him. Robichad also on the softs. That's probably why he's pressuring Knickel so much. Juergensmeyer may have made a little mistake off that corner, lost a big amount of time. See in the distance, Luke Allen trying to reel these guys back in. Once again, start the ascent up the hill under that supercharged bridge. AJ Knickel up to the back bumper of his teammate. Doubt there will be a move into this corner. Oh, into the wall before the start of that hairpin there. Lost a little bit of time to his teammate, but not too much. Tenths now is the gap between him and Juergensmeyer as Robichad once again closes in on the Canadian. The 2 Canadians going to battle for that final podium spot. So we're about halfway through the fuel load if you look in the bottom left corner. So these guys probably got about 5 more laps until their first pit stop. So you'll probably see at, oh man, that'll be close to see on that final stop. You have 3 or 2 pit stops. It might only be 2. Might see some do a 2-stop. Ridwan Hamza might just end up doing a 3-stop just because he's so far ahead of everyone. 14 seconds now ahead of the next closest car. As Robichad once again closes up to the back bumper of Knickel. Will they make a move into this corner? No, he will not. Robichad not able to make the move. Onto the straightaway they go. Ooh, Luke Allen really loose off that corner and loses a bunch of time that he probably had gained on these guys. Not gonna help his quest for a podium this season, but not sure if he has much of a chance. Anyone needs a, or anyway, needs a little bit of a mistake here from one of these guys. And Robichad uses a lot of the slipstream here to try and make a move on Knickel once again, which is not gonna be close enough. Got to about 2/10 and just stalled out there. Caught off that corner quite well, actually. Gonna look to his right-hand side. Knickel gonna give him the room here to go side by side, but it's not close enough to happen. Out to a 1.2 second lead on AJ Knickel now. He's actually kind of stabilized the gap from P1 to P2 as we see our first loss of this race. Marcus Snow has decided to call it quit 6 laps in. So he'll be P11 on this race. It's one spot for Logan Poole. I'm sure he enjoyed that. Jurgensmeyer's lost some time here down the hill to AJ Knickel. For those soft tires, not doing him any favors right now. Probably about gone at this point. He's got to still go about 4 or 5 more laps on this run. So Ridwan at the line. It's probably going to be about a 16.5 second lead if I had to guess. Off into the grass a little bit there. Not too much of a worry for Ridwan. A 2:02.8 is his fastest lap time. And back here, these guys all in the 2:05s. Low to mid 2:05s. AJ with 2:05.8. It's the slowest of these 3, but it really doesn't matter. He's just so much quicker than all of these guys. Just can't really do anything. It's back in the back of the pack. Logan Poole actually has spun out at the bottom of the hill. We'll get it back going with a 180-point turn. Sola actually made another mistake, I'm pretty sure, because he was ahead of Jamal Stallings. So he has fallen a position to P9. Fidel Fabian still on P7. McGowan trying to reel in these guys in front of him, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen, so we'll just have to try and stay ahead of Riker Lummel. Back up here, looks like Roby Chad might have made a mistake there as I was going through the field for a second. He's lost about a 1.5 seconds to Knickel here. Not sure what happened to him, but I'm sure he'll gain it back on this lap. Knickel still within striking distance of his teammate Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Right there with each other. I'm sure Knickel's fine to just chill right now. You can't really do much in this situation. This is basically the highest you're going to get up in position wise, unless you see a massive mistake from Ridwan Hamza. You won't see it this lap. If he does make a mistake, he is on a straightaway now, unless he's at this breaking point. So these guys start to come down the hill. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer didn't get a great exit. AJ Knickel is going to be all over the back of him. We'll see if AJ decides to make a move. See if he does. Yep, he'll take the chance. He'll go for P2 once again. He gave it to his teammate, but his teammate wasn't able to pull away. AJ Knickel going to take over P2 pretty easily. Back up into second, or P2 in the championship standings. So Roby Chad starts to reel these guys back in. Lost some time there, but starting to beat it back down to about a second. Now within a second, within 7/10 actually. Jurgensmeyer got a good run off of that corner. 5/10 is the gap now. So you see our first pit stops. These guys are going to have to make 3 stops now with these pit stops. It's Riker Lummel and Fidel Fabian who decide to be our first hitters of the race. These guys will not make it on one more stop after this. These guys will 100% have to make it 2 stops now, unfortunately. So a lot of these guys are running quite low on fuel. Jurgensmeyer actually lower than these two. Roby Chad saved actually quite a bit of fuel. Might have backed it off for that 1 lap to save that fuel. Maybe a little bit of tire here to try and get by Jurgensmeyer to re-chase or reel AJ back in. There we go. Stumbling over my words here. Jurgensmeyer's lost touch with Knickel a lot this lap. almost a 2-second gap now to the Canadian. He's gonna have to find a little more pace here, or he's just gonna have to let Robichad by and try and let him, I guess, drag him back up to P2. 1.7 entering the final 3 corners. The lead is almost 20 seconds, man. Ridwan Hamza, at this pace, he's gonna have a 60-second lead at the end of this one. So, I mean, he's still setting fastest laps too. I mean, a 2:07.7 or a 2:02.7, sorry. Just wild stuff here from your champion of this series, Ridwan Hamza. There's a reason why he won it 2 races early. Nickel continues to widen the gap. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer pits early here. I think he'll also have to go 3 stops. Unfortunate for Jurgensmeyer. He decides, let's see what tire he decides actually to go to now. See if it's the softs or the mediums. We'll have to wait till he exits the pit lane. That does give Robichad clear track to go and try and chase down AJ Knickel here. Jurgensmeyer decides to go for the medium tire. Jurgensmeyer learns from his mistake last week. The 3-second time penalty that Jurg did get last week was unfortunately a pit exit violation. That's what it was. He crossed the line too early, gave him a 3-second time penalty, and that's what was the undoing of his race. Thankfully, didn't really matter. Steve Kuntz had that in the bag with the fuel saving, but heartbreaking nonetheless for him last week. Meanwhile, Knickel, he's got it over 3 seconds now over Robichad. See when these two decide to pit. Knickel actually, oh man, he might have gotten into the wall. It says he's got damage. I don't know how true that is. No, I think it is. Yeah, it says he's got damage, so I'm not sure what happened there. Interesting. But I think Knickel's gonna have to dive it down pit road this lap. Same with Ridwan Hamza. I think you'll see dive it down here. Yep, there he comes. Comes into the pit lane with a 22-second lead. Thought he was gonna go around there for a second. He'll get off the mediums here. I mean, I assume he'll go to the softs. Maybe he'll go double medium softs. Maybe he'll go that 3-stop strategy. I guess, you know what? That's not how that works. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't say that. Knickel though, he'll decide to also make his first pit stop of the race. Robichad will also follow him down. So this is, it's right on the edge. Robichad off the track though as he tries to go into pit road. That's going to really hurt his chances for a podium in this event. Overcooked it into the pit lane and went into the gravel trap. Unfortunate for Robichad. Luke Allen much more conservative into pit lane. Really unfortunate for Robichad. Just cooked it into pit road and unfortunately sent him into the gravel trap. It's going to trap. It's going to cost him valuable time. So he'll have to really push when he gets back onto the racetrack to try and reel these guys back in. See where Knickel comes out compared to Jurgensmeyer. Jurgensmeyer not even into the first corner yet, and AJ is already out of pit road. So it's going to be a 3-second lead, maybe less, as they start to ascend up the hill. Sven Robichad, meanwhile, 2.2 seconds back and fading with the 3-second time penalty. He crossed the pit line too early, and that'll give him a 3-second time penalty. So really, 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 really bad for Stefan Robichad. Goes from bad to worse, honestly. Too many realies there. I don't know why I said so many realies, but it's alright. Luke Allen able to keep his lead over Riker Lummel, a 7-second lead. Everything else about the same. Jamal Stallings, 5-second time penalty. Not sure what happened there. Gabe Cazzola made his first pit stop. He also got a time penalty. So it could have been, it wasn't actually for pit exit lane violation. It was for pit entry. That's what that one was for Stefan Robichad. Kind of forgot what he did. I didn't really forget it. I just said, I said the thing with Jurg and got it dialed into my head. 24-second lead. Meanwhile, for our leader, Ridwan Hamza. Just dominating performance here. See if what lap times he's able to set down on these softs. See, second through 6th, 7th, 8th, second through 8th, all on mediums, while Ridwan is on the softs. First car that's not Ridwan on softs is Gabe Cazzola. He's got to make up some time, though, on drivers like Jamal Stallings and Fidel Fabian. It's probably about all he'll be able to get to without mistakes from 6th and 5th is P7 for Cazzola. Meanwhile, actually, we have our first lap car of the race. Ridwan has lapped his first car, Logan Cool. 11 laps into this race. The 25-second lead. AJ Knickel 3.5 over his 44R teammate Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Jurg has an 8-second gap over Svein Robichad now. Not a lot of battles now going on. Nobody really within more than 3.5 seconds. The closest one is Knickel and Jurgensmeyer. That's still a pretty mighty gap. See if he's able to reel AJ back in here through this lap. See blue flags for Logan Cool, who's a little bit up the road from AJ Knickel. Knickel off the road there into the grass, overcooked it. Ooh, Logan Cool. Dangerous place to be parked there while he lets second and third by. Well, seems we don't have a lot of drivers near each other. Logan Cool back into the wall there. Not sure what happened to him. Probably just getting out of the way. It seems we don't have much going on here. I guess we'll go on board with Ridwan Hamza for a lap. So I'll just let him take over the broadcast here for a lap. I mean, that lap time truly shows why this guy truly is a Group 3 master. I mean, just crazy stuff from Ridwan Hamza. Goes almost 7/10, or it was 7/10 faster than his fastest lap. 32 seconds ahead of the next closest car with a 2:01.6 on the 12th lap of this race. And AJ Knickel, he's got a 2:04.5. That's still 3 seconds off of Ridwan Hamza at the line. Not even quicker than that. 2:05.1. He's a full 4 seconds off of him on that lap alone. Ridwan just laying it into these guys here tonight. I think he's already got the pit stop delta down to where even if he pits, he'll still come out with the lead and it won't matter. I mean, just really, really, really impressive stuff here tonight from, oh geez, voice crack, from Ridwan Hamza. He's truly untouchable in this series, or at least, I mean, we thought he was untouchable. He's been touched a few times, but you get the gist of it. He's just so quick, so fast. We'll see if that carries over to the super formulas. Obviously, pretty different race cars, really, really lighter. So we'll see if that caters to anyone else's style a lot more than it does to his. But he's got these Group 3 cars down to a science, it seems like, as he continues to just extend his lead over AJ Knickel, the winningest driver in ARC history, AJ Knickel, and he's 35 seconds out of that guy. It's insane. Not a lot of people have come into this league and done the things that Ridwan Hamza has done. And here he is. He's laying it to these guys. Another 2:01. It's 12 thousandths off of his fastest lap time. Really, really consistent. Knickel, he's going to be once again 4 seconds down on this time. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer continues to lose ground to AJ Knickel. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to reel him back in. Let's see if there's any more battles on this racetrack. Gabe Cazzola. Is he going to one lap down? Kinda. We might see another lap car here soon. Gabe Cazzola. Keep track of that, see if Ridwan can chase him down and lap him. So I mean, these guys are over on the straightaway after the first corner. Ridwan's about to start coming down the hill. I mean, just crazy. The closest gap on track, it's still AJ Knickel and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. No, actually I lied. Jamal Stallings has gotten gap to him and Fidel within 6 seconds. As soon as I say that's about to go above 6 seconds. It was 6 seconds. It's not anymore. Just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. No real battles on this racetrack. It's just everybody driving, setting fast laps, trying to chase down the cars ahead of them. He's got 7 seconds behind and in front of him. He's got a car nowhere near him. He's also got a lot less fuel than these two. He's 100% going to have to make one more pit stop. So we'll see how that goes compared to second and fourth. Jurgen might lose that final podium spot if he does have to pit one more time, and these guys don't. We'll see how that goes. Thankfully, Jurg went to both compounds, so he'll be able to go back to the softs and maybe try and chase down Roby Chad if Roby Chad doesn't have to pit again. Ridwan hit the line 5/10 down at his fastest lap, but I mean that's still going to be probably a couple seconds faster than AJ Knickel's lap. Let's see at the line what it is. Ridwan's about to hit the 40-second gap. Yeah, at the line at 2:05.3 compared to the 2:02.1. Full 3 seconds faster than Ridwan. Ooh, Logan cool out of shape here. I want to go back to Gabe Cazzola. It's not too far ahead of Ridwan now. I mean, he's setting 2:09s to Ridwan's 2:02s, so I think it's probably a couple more laps until Gabe Cazzola's lapped. And I mean, you won't even have that much longer until, man, who is behind Jamal Stallings? Okay, so cool. I mean, it won't be too much longer then for Jamal Stallings, and then Fidel Fabian, obviously, I think will probably be the last car that Ridwan Hamza would be able to get to. With Ridwan Hamza now just coming out the final corner before the straightaway. The soft start to deteriorate for him. He's gonna have to be careful with that, or he will have to make another pit stop. He's got a lot less fuel, or I guess not a lot. He's got a pretty sizable gap, less fuel than Knickel. Doesn't look like he's had that great of a lap here too. We'll see though through the lap. I mean, you can't really tell because Knickel's so much farther back how big the gap will actually be at the line. It was 41, or it was 40 seconds last time by. We'll see what it is here. I mean, it's only 41. He was a second slower than his fastest lap that time. See what Knickel is able to lay down here. Hearing the sights, or just seeing the sights and hearing the sounds of these race cars. I mean, you can't really talk about much. It's just truly utter domination. I guess I could try and maybe look at the points here and see what kind of movement we would have in the standings. They stayed the way they were. AJ Knickel was at 2:05.1. It's only about 2.5 seconds down on that lap, so improvement. Still not great from AJ Knickel, unfortunately. It's just he's no match for Ridwan Hamza. As a car around up here, it's Logan Cool. He's right ahead of Gabe because he gets mighty loose off that corner. Oh, Ridwan Hamza has went around from the lead. He got really out of shape there. Damage to his front bumper and left front. Ridwan Hamza continues to push it and almost bit him there. Almost went fully around. Able to save the race car, but he still has some damage to the front end. We'll see how that affects him now for the rest of this run. Man, I thought he was going around there. That would have cost him a big chunk of time, but I don't think it would have mattered regardless. Man, that was almost disastrous for Ridwan Hamza. I mean, really, really scary, I'm sure, for him in the race car. Yellow flag up here, that's Logan Cool around into the gravel. Cost him some time to try to lap Gabe Cazola too. So he'll dive it down pit road now. He's probably tired of these soft tires. Oh, he's gonna almost go around again. That might cost him a 3-second time penalty. See if it does here. As we'll look to Stefan Robichad, who is 4th as we run in the point standings. He's, what is that, 26 points back of P3 Fernando Rosario. I mean, he doesn't, unfortunately, unless he wins this race, I don't think it's possible for him to take over P3 in the standings, unfortunately. So I think our top 3 is pretty much locked in at this point, unless you see some more shenanigans. I mean, we'll see what Ridwan Hamza's gap is. He's a full corner, or almost straight, or he's a full corner ahead of Knickel, obviously, but a lot more than that. 25 seconds as it continues to go down. 20, 18, 17. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer heads to pit road. With that pit stop, he's 100% going to have to go for one more pit stop, so he's going to have to push like hell here to get on another set of tires. Or to, well, yeah, he's going to have to push really hard and then pit again and push really hard again, I guess. I don't really know what to say there, but he's just going to have to get a huge gap, obviously. I mean, Ridwan had a 43-second gap going into pit road, and it's down to 17, so it's about a 26-second delta here that you need if you want to keep your position. See Jurgensmeyer lose one to Luke Allen there. Luke Allen's probably got about 2 more laps of fuel too. Ridwan Hamza under-fueled, so he 100% will make one more pit stop. So that's interesting, you know. AJ Knickel, if he's able to make it on one more stop here, keep that gap within 26 seconds. Really tough ask, but you might see him pull one out. I'm not going to put it out of the realm of possibilities. Anything is possible. AJ Knickel is a really good driver. Don't let this race mistake you. AJ Knickel, winningest driver in ARC history. Really, no one's been able to touch him for most of his ARC career. So if anyone's able to pull this off, it would be AJ Knickel. We'll see, though, how he fares in lap time to Ridwan Hamza. This Ridwan has got another pair of softs, and he's going to go to work here. See, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer also decided to come down pit road. He was dangerously close to running out of fuel. So that's why he came down pit road. We go back here. Fidel Fabian, 4th, I think he decided to come down pit road as well. He went to the mediums. Yeah, he did. So he sacrificed P7 to come down pit road. He actually might have been passed by Jamal Stallings too on track. That's interesting. Windy City Simsport driver might have gotten himself into P7. Like I said, I really want to see what Ridwan's lap time here is going to be compared to AJ Knickel. AJ really out of shape there through that corner. Probably pushing it, knowing he's got a tiny bit of chance here to maybe steal one, and got it out of shape there through that corner. So I'll have to come down pit road this time. Roby Chad, I think he will as well, but he might be able to stretch it. Same with Luke Allen. These guys running a little bit lower on fuel now. Ridwan Hamza has got the lead back out to 22 seconds now. See at the line what Ridwan's lap time here is. He's going to need to gain 3 more seconds if he doesn't want to come out behind AJ Knickel with his next pit stop. Probably be around lap 26, 25. .201.8 for Ridwan, 2/10 off of his fastest lap time. AJ Knickel won't be able to see what his lap time would have been, but it was 2:05.3 last lap. Knickel goes off into the gravel, so that'll be a 3-second time penalty, I assume. So, I mean, any doubt that Ridwan wasn't going to have a chance at this now, or was going to get this stolen from him, I should say, is now over. As Fidel Fabian's going to go a lap down here pretty soon, as you can see, as we've gone into the night now. About almost 10 laps remaining in this race. Fabian's going to have to get out of the way soon. Roby Chad decides to go another lap. We'll see if Luke Allen does the same. He was about as close as Roby Chad on fuel. He'll stay out one more time as he just starts blinking on fuel. Jurgensmeyer is starting to reel him in. Yep, there it is. 4.5-second time penalty actually for AJ Knickel. So that'll help Jonathan Jurgensmeyer out. So that'll almost put him back within reaching distance of, or I guess passing distance of Knickel once that penalty is served. He'll be about 2 seconds back of Knickel once it's served. Riker Lummel decides to make what could be his final pit stop of the race. Jamal Stallings is going to come down pit road as well. Gabriel Zola, I assume we'll see him down pit road as he's almost out of fuel. Fidel Fabian did let Ridwan by see Logan Poole go around once again. This car actually not too far ahead of Ridwan. That's Gabe Casola that he'll have to pass soon. Gabe is actually running really close on fuel, I hope. Yeah, okay, there you go. He's in the pit. Alright, so he'll be lapped this time, so that'll put 3 cars a lap down and 1 car out of the race. So technically 4 cars a lap down, but you know, oh well. Jamal Stallings actually also going to go a lap down here while he's on pit road to Ridwan Hamza. He's actually going to come out second side out of the pits, I think. Yeah, pretty close, honestly. P6, not too far up the road from Ridwan Hamza, so depending on pit stops here, he might be able to lap up to P6. Really impressive stuff from Hamza, as he's already got the lead back out to 42 seconds. Knickel now serving that time penalty, you see, really, really slow. It's actually gapped Jurgensmeyer on this lap quite a bit. He was able to get by Luke Allen at some point. 2 seconds now is the gap from Knickel to Jurgensmeyer for that final podium spot before Roby Chad decides to bring it down pit road, which he will now do. Under a second now, Jurgensmeyer is. So that penalty really costly. Jurgensmeyer actually already really low on fuel, so 100% will have to make another pit stop. Just be dependent on if Knickel and Roby Chad will as well. I don't think Roby Chad will, honestly. I think he's good. Stefan about to come out of the pit lane. He's still fueling it up. Luke Allen also on pit road with him at this time. Let's see if Riker Lummel's able to reel in Luke Allen at all. Is he still not into his pit stall? We're waiting for him to appear. There he is. So Robichad comes out quite a bit down the road from Jurgensmeyer and Knickel. Jurgensmeyer on the soft spot. Knickel decided to go back to mediums. Interesting decision from Knickel. I mean, it's got to be telling that he's deciding to go all the way here for these final 10 laps. Trying to keep that P2 spot over his teammate and over Stefan Robichad. 5/10 gap between the teammates here. A minute up the road is Ridwan Hamza. Just insane pace from Ridwan. Nobody really able to touch him here tonight. Just blistering speed. So he'll have to come down pit road one more time like Jurgensmeyer. Is he lapped up to 6 yet? Let's see. He is not, but it's not too far behind or ahead of Ridwan. P5 also not even that far ahead, so Ridwan, if Luke Allen has to pit one more time, he could also be in trouble of going down a lap. So Ridwan put a little wide in that corner, might have gotten in a wall there. Tough to see now with the darkness set in. See the headlights of these race car and the rear taillights. You know, when they brake, see the blue flags coming out for Mr. Riker Lummel, who's right there, as you can see, not too far ahead, about a corner ahead. See when Riker decides it's time to give up that spot on the racetrack. So you can almost see him in Ridwan's headlights, jeez. Ridwan continues to close in on the P6 driver. Yeah, I mean, Riker's going to have to let him by on this straightaway at least. He's going to pull to the right-hand side, let off just a little bit, turn his hazards on, and let him by. Ridwan Hamza now lapped up to P6. It's farther back. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer has lost some ground recently to Knickel. Starts to reel him back in as they start to go up the hill. Really, for Jurgensmeyer, it's just about getting that delta to Stefan Robichad. Got to need about 6 more seconds on him. So Robichad, I mean, surely is saving fuel. He's got a lot more fuel than Knickel, so that tells you something. He might be trying to save the fuel and then go hard because he's on the softs, unlike Knickel. Well, actually using quite a bit of fuel, honestly. For Robichad, this is only play a yellow flag. That's a car around. It's Logan Poole, I assume, right? Yeah, he's on part of the racetrack too. So it's better to just stop his car. Getting in these guys' way, and there he goes. Good stuff from Logan. He's been known to not abide by the blue flags all the time, but he did there. Jurgensmeyer 2-second gap now to his teammate. Got a better run off the corner, but not enough to do anything big. Fidel Fabian has decided to come down pit road for his final pit stop of this race. He's going to get onto the soft tires, I assume. Try and make some lap time here. He's going to be right with his teammate too, Dave Cazzola, for P8, so we'll see how that shakes out. So go back up here. Gallon only 17 seconds behind Stefan, so Stefan isn't able to make it on fuel. He surely will be able to get him on track, steal away P4. It's Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Oh wow, AJ Knickel has decided that it's not worth it to try and stretch it on fuel, and he's going to come down pit road one last time. So his final pit stop of the race will actually truly be right here. He'll switch to the soft tires, put enough fuel in to make it to the distance, and go. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, he's going to have to react to that pretty quickly within the next 2 laps, I assume, at least. So Ridwan, he's going to be able to keep that minute lead that he's got over the entire field. Depends on if Riker Lummel's able to stretch this or not, if he's going to be able to get him or not. We'll see. He'll lap at least up to 7th, though, which is still really, really impressive. Go back to AJ Knickel. He came out 5/10 behind Stefan Robichad, who was trying to stretch it on fuel. thought it was going to be a little bit farther out than that, but Knickel really close to him. He's going to push those soft tires, try and get by him fairly soon. So he doesn't lose too much time to his teammate Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Jurg, I'm sure, is pushing really hard now, trying to do the overcut on his teammate for P2. AJ Knickel, though, really aggressive move here in the mountain section, is going to take that position away from Stefan. So he's got the podium position locked up as long as he doesn't make a mistake in these final few laps. I think we'll see Ridwan Hamza down pit road this time for his final pit stop as well. He'll surely go to the soft tire. Soft tire seems to be the tire of choice. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, we'll see if he also comes down. Well, I guess not come down with Ridwan. He'll have to come down either this or next time. I mean, if not for fuel, just because he's going to be losing time to Knickel, I assume. It's a 23-second gap out of the final corner, and we'll see if Gabe Gazzola gets out of Jurg's way quickly. Yeah, he's going to pull the left-hand side, let him by before the braking zone. Stuff from Gabe Gazzola getting out of the way. Riker Lummel not too far up the road from, oh no, that's Jamal Stallings, actually. So it looks like Riker might have made a mistake. He might have went around. Not sure what happened to Riker there, as now he's really close to Jamal Stallings. Might have a change there for position, possibly. I mean, yeah, Ridwan's ahead of him now, so a mistake, or no, he's not. Am I blind? No, he is. Okay. Yeah, he is. All right, so yeah, up to P6 in lat cars is Ridwan Hamza. Luke Allen would be the next up the road, and that's not out of the realm of possibilities, as the car on pit road is a Logan Cool. So Ridwan Hamza dives it down pit road. Hopefully he didn't get a time penalty there. I think he did, though. I'm not sure. It could just be a mistake from the game. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, he's going to have to come down within the next 2 laps for fuel. I mean, if I was him, I'd pit fairly soon. He's losing time to Knickel because of him Knickel being on those fresh softs. Oh, car behind. That's Gabe Gazzola went around into the barrier, I'm pretty sure. See if Ridwan got a time penalty for cutting the course on entry. Went off just a tiny bit. We'll see if it gives him a penalty for it. Out of the pit lane. Doesn't look like he got a penalty, so I think it may be just a little bit of lag there. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer gap to Knickel is now down to 21 seconds. He's got Fidel Fabian ahead. Fidel's got blue flags, so he's going to have to abide by those soon. See if Jurgensmeyer decides to dive it down pit road. Fidel's in his way if he did. Nope, Jurgensmeyer is going to stay out at least one more lap. Interesting strategy here from Jurgensmeyer. I guess he just wants to save those soft tires for the latest possible chance and then push really, really hard, not have to care about tire saving. Gap is actually down quite a bit now. It's 44 seconds to Jurgensmeyer. Jurgensmeyer's still going to have to make that pit stop, so we'll go back up to about 1:07. Ridwan. Oh no, that's, wow, okay. Ridwan is on the soft tires. Everybody, I assume, is on the softs besides Riker Lummel. He's decided to go mediums for this final stint. So Ridwan now behind 7th and 6th, so we'll see if he'll be able to get those cars back before the end of this race. Jamal Stallings and Riker Lummel might be trying to go to the end on that fuel. Roby Chad back in P4. I don't even think he'll be close enough to Jurgensmeyer, and if he does, Jurgensmeyer is going to have the better tires, so I think he'll be able to steal that final podium spot from Roby Chad. Gap is stabilized here to Knickel at about 21 seconds. See if he's able to have a quick entry and exit and maybe try and battle his teammate for P2. As he starts to come down the mountain section, I'm sure he'll come down pit road this time. I'm not sure if he'll have enough fuel to get around. I'm sure he would, but as he starts blinking red on the fuel indicator. It's 5 laps to go now for Ridwan Hamza in this season. Made a little mistake earlier in this race at about the lap 18 mark, but it didn't really do much for anyone. Still kept that lead up. It's been 20 seconds now for the longest time. at least 10 laps now. Or at least since lap 10, it's been 20 seconds or more. 43 seconds is the gap right now, but Jonathan Jurgensmeyer still has to come down pit road. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer has spun out of the penultimate corner, and that's going to ruin his chance at a podium. As Stefan Robichad is going to be able to cover him off now. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is going to have to come into the pit lane quick here. He's got damage on both ends of the race car. Not sure what happened to Jurgensmeyer there. Might have just got on the throttle too early. Oh, that's got to be just heartbreaking for Jurgensmeyer. 2 weeks in a row, he's going to have a great result ruined. Last week it was a win that was stolen out of his hands. This week it's going to be a podium. Just on his own accord, unfortunately, this week. As he might even lose a position to Luke Allen, depending on how long the fuel, or I mean the damage and fuel take. And of course the tires. Man, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, he's got to be disappointed with himself after that one. Man, yeah, just 10 seconds now behind Robichad. He's going to really have to push here or hope that Robichad can't make it on fuel, but I don't think that second one's very likely. 5 laps to go. I'm sure he's fine with a half a tank of fuel. He was able to go 10 laps earlier pretty easily. He's 2.5 seconds behind Knickel for P2. Knickel, not sure if that's a glitch or he does actually just have front end damage. Might have hit the wall there. Jamal Stalling is once again going to give way to our leader, Ridwan Hamza. Not too far up the road is P6. Riker and Lummel, those two actually kind of close to each other. Be interested to see how much time Riker loses when he gives up the position on track to Ridwan. I think up the road as well is Logan Cool, blinking his lights, having fun in this final race. See, the teammates actually for P8 too are pretty close to each other, both on the soft tires. It's gonna have to come down pit road one more time though. It's not too far behind his teammate though. As they run, they're mighty far back from everyone else. The T1A race cars. We're gonna have to give way to Knickel and Robichad here soon. See if Jurgensmeyer is able to make any lap time here to try and make a dent into that gap that he has to Stefan. Sure, he's not too happy with himself after that mistake. Off of this corner right here, actually. Might have gotten onto the curb as he hit the throttle and just lost it. I'm not really sure. Following along with Ridwan Hamza there when it happened, and we switched back right as it started to unfold. So I think Ridwan still up the road as Riker Lummel hasn't been able to get around him. Luke Allen looks like he might be able to stretch it here as he hits the line for 4 to go. He might not have to make one more pit stop like a lot of these guys have. Jurgensmeyer and Knickel, the 244R cars. Ooh, yellow flag. Not sure who that was for. Assume it's Logan Cool if I had to take a guess. No, it's Gabe Cazzola actually. Gabe Cazzola around. He's gonna have to give way for Jurgensmeyer really quickly here. Really bad part of the track for him to be slow. Jurgensmeyer, the gap is at 10 seconds still, unfortunately for him. He's gonna have to find a lot more pace than that if he wants this final podium spot with 4 to go. Nickel, another T1A car in front of a 44R car. Fidel Fabian this time, he's actually kind of holding up Knickel too. He's got to get out of the way soon. Assuming it'll be on this straightaway, he'll pull right or left and let Knickel by. Right, it seems like. Maybe not. Man, I don't know. Fidel's kind of still in his way. Knickel's going to pull to the right-hand side. Fidel's not giving way. That's really interesting. These guys have history. They've been at it in multiple series. ARX is a big one. I mean, they went at it in the Porsche Super Cup series. Big time. They started wrecking each other in that series, so probably not giving them too much leeway there. Interesting rivalry that you wouldn't think would happen, but Dylan and AJ have been at heads, or at odds before, at heads, butting heads. There you go, that's what I was trying to say. But unfortunately, I have stumbled over my words once again. Within 9 seconds now is Jurgensmeyer with 3 laps to go here as he hits the line for 3 to go, I should say. I don't think it's gonna matter. I think Stefane's got that locked down as long as he can make it on fuel. He hasn't used up much either. He's got a lot less than Knickel, but he's got a 9-second gap to play with to finish out that podium, rob 44R of a double podium. It's interesting to see. We'll really see if Fidel was just holding up AJ there. We'll see if he lets Stefane by quickly. That'll be something to watch out for. Gabe Casola, 3-second time penalty exiting the pit lane or entering wrong. Not 100% sure. Got over one of the white lines. And there's another fastest lap, a 2:01.1 there for Ridwan Hamza. Just showing off at this point, a minute 12-second lead. Just impressive stuff from Hamza. Really, really good driving here tonight from him. Nobody here able to touch him. As Jurgensmeyer continues to bite into this lead that Stefane has over him for P3, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Now within 8 seconds. See Jurgensmeyer really testing the limits of his race car, trying to reel him in. It's gonna be I mean, he's gonna have to start gaining about 4 seconds a lap after this one, maybe about 3.5, depending on where he is at the line. Had a bad exit of that corner. Phil Fabian still has not been caught by Stefane, so we haven't been able to see if he was truly just holding up Knickel there on purpose or not. Fabian hasn't gotten out of the way yet, so maybe just not feeling like blue flags are his thing tonight. Ridwan hit the line a while ago for 2 to go. He's way ahead of the pack. AJ just hit it for 2 to go in P2. So Fabian, man, he's got to get out of the way. Yeah, he really held up Stefane there. Really interesting driving from Fidel. Not sure what the deal there is. 8.6 seconds was the gap in the line for Jurgensmeyer. Ridwan hasn't even, not Ridwan, sorry, Stefane hasn't even started blinking red. Speaking of Ridwan though, we'll go back up to him as he's going to come through these final 3 corners, going to come through the penultimate corner now, and he's going to hit the final lap of this season. I mean, just utter domination this entire season. He's going to continue the streak of winning at least one of these events every single night. Just crazy stuff from Ridwan Hamza. Had a streak of winning the final race, having the pleasure of joining me for an interview every single race. That was broken last week after a mistake and a few cautions kind of put him back in traffic, and he was never able to recover. He was never able to even get back up to the podium. Unfortunately, that broke his streak of feature wins, so wasn't able to join me for a podium interview, but nonetheless still has that streak of winning at least one of these events, or one of the events every night in this series. I mean, not a lot of people have done that. Logan Cool, looks like he's just parking the car over there in the final corner. Further back, Stefane Robichad, further backing it up. He'll start blinking. He hasn't even started blinking red yet, so that bodes well for his hope to make it on fuel. Back up to Ridwan Hamza, he's still pushing it. 2:01.4 last lap. See how he's doing on this lap through this section. See if we have a delta. There it is, 3/10 down on his lap. Hasn't stopped pushing once, hasn't backed it down at all, man. He's just been foot to the floor, pushing it all the way as he comes out of that corner here onto the long straightaway. It's not going to be too far back. Luke Allen, too, almost lapped up into the top 5 as these guys hit the line for the final lap of the season as well. Jurgensmeyer's got the gap down to 6.5 as Stefane still has not started blinking red. But meanwhile, Ridwan Hamza going to come into the kink for the final time at this circuit. Complete and utter domination on the season, on this race for Ridwan Hamza. Comes out of the penultimate corner, going to come down this straightaway for the final time. Like I said, one event win every single night this season. He's going to win the championship by over 100 points. Ridwan Hamza ends the season with a win, wins the Group 3 Masters event here at Bathurst. And AJ Knickel, he's going to easily have P2 in the championship, and I think P2 in this race is Stefan. He's going to save enough fuel, it looks like. He started blinking red, but I think Jurgensmeyer made a mistake. We're going to have we're going to have a minute 20 seconds. I mean, funny enough how that works. How time works. Riker will pass the line. He'll finish P6 from all Stallings P7. Gabe Cazzola P9. Just kind of calling it as they cross the line here. So everything's kind of out of order. Svein Robichad, he's really close on fuel. Got into the wall there. That's going to hurt him. It's going to give Jonathan Jurgensmeyer just a shot of that podium, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Stevens got quite enough fuel to cover that off for that final podium spot. Ruin the 44R double podium. Cool finish P10. Should probably mention that. So I don't think he'll cross the line here. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, I'm sure you can see him up the road, but it's not going to matter. He's going to home P4. AJ Knickel. He's going to come through these final 3 corners, come through the penultimate corner there. We're going to end in the night here as well. First time we've ended in the night actually this season too, so a little bit different. Yellow flag up here. Logan Cool's parked on the apex in the middle of the track. Jeez, that was interesting. But AJ Knickel, P2 in the championship, brings it home P2 in the final race of the season. Svein Robichad going to narrowly miss the P3 in the standings, but gets a podium here in the final race. And Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, unfortunately that accident out of the penultimate corner before his final pit stop cost him P3 in this race. He'll come home P4. And Luke Allen, final car on the lead lap. He's going to come home P5. Pretty solid race from Luke Allen, honestly, all things considered. Staying on the lead lap in this race is, I mean, pretty good nonetheless. We'll go through the rest of the order once Luke crosses the line, as he does right here. Solid end result to his season. Riker Lummel P6, Jamal Stallings P7, Fidel Fabian P8, and Gabe Cazzola came home P9, and P10 was Logan Cool. So, utter domination by Ridwan Hamzas. We'll get him and the other 2 podium finishers in here for an interview. There he is. There's Ridwan. So we'll get Knickel and Robichad in here for an interview. Just be patiently wait for them to join. There's Knickel. And we'll wait for Stefan. Is he in this party?
Stefan?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so yet.
Alright.
I'll tag him.
Oh, I meant like, is he in the group? That's what I meant.
Oh,
I don't think he
probably
is. I don't think he's at a podium, or I don't think he's finished podium in the.
I'm sure.
He won. No, he won the first. He won the first race.
Oh, no,
he won the sprint at Daytona, but he didn't. I don't think he's got.
Oh
a
no,
podium
it's
outside
because
of
we've
that.
been inviting people to this party, not adding them to the group. That's why.
Oh.
In the future,
I'm not sure.
He'll get here eventually. Don't worry.
I don't remember interviewing him though, so maybe I'm just forgetful.
It's like our equivalent of the cooldown room, isn't it?
Oh, he was podium. All right. Well, he was podium after penalties. Or maybe I'm just.
Where is he? He's late.
We should have a replay showing the best moments in the race. So you can analyze them as drivers.
Yeah. Imagine.
Wild.
Oh no, he did get a podium. Red Bull Ring, so he's in the party.
See if he'll join here in the next minute or so, and then if he doesn't, we'll just go on with the interviews.
Here he is.
There we go. All right. So we'll start off the interviews with Stefan. Stefan, just take us through your strategy there to not pit for a third time there, and just do a 2-stop and try and take that P2 spot away from Knickel. Yeah, I mean, especially with Jurgensmeyer's mistake there with about 8 laps to go. I mean, you were able to steal that final podium spot from 44R, able to take away the double podium. Congrats on, I guess, start the season off with a win and ended it off with podium, so good job. All right, and then we'll go to Knickel. You had a good battle with Stefan and Jurgensmeyer there for a while. Just take us through that. I mean, that's about all I can really say about this race. There wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah, it kind of spread out pretty quick. It's one of those tracks, but yeah, no, at the start I was on a medium tire, so I figured I'd end up kind of um, having a bit of a deficit. But the other guys, they're on softs. Jurg was on a soft, and Jurg, I guess, kind of used my positioning on when Frenchie was behind me, and Frenchie kind of lifted out of the overtake, and Jurg kind of dove in and took the position. After that, it was kind of played the team game. I let him by. He was on a softer compound, and I ended up catching him back up after as the soft kind of died off, and he was on the medium, or I was on the medium. So when the overlap happened, I kind of cruised by him. I pulled out about 6.5 seconds or so. Then we pitted. From there, it was just about maintaining position, and I got a massive penalty for when I slid through the pit entry. It gave me 4.5 seconds of penalty, so they caught back up to me at the end, but luckily I didn't completely blow my podium. I don't really know what happened with Jurg at the end. I don't know if you caught that, but we were kind of close when I pitted, and I put on a soft tire, and he went a little later than me, and he ended up so far behind Frenchie. I was right on Frenchie, passed him, and then he ended up so far behind he couldn't pass him. So I didn't think the overlap on tires was that huge, especially as the soft wore out, but it seemed to be enough that he just didn't have a shot. But yeah, that was the whole race. That was my whole race recap. I don't really have anything else to happen during the.
Yeah, the incident with Jurgensmeyer, he was just pushing really hard trying to do the overcut, and I think he just overcooked it on the exit of the penultimate corner and just spun into the barrier.
Okay, so that's why he was so far behind you. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. I didn't know there was an incident.
Yeah, did catch the start of that spin, but congrats on your P2 and P2.
I forgot to mention something to you. I don't know. What was the weather like in your viewing of the race?
I think it was clear. I don't think I had any. I didn't see any.
Oh, sorry, not weather. Time of day.
Oh, time of day. Oh, I went from day to night, and we ended at night.
What around what lap did it become night for you?
Like 20 or so, somewhere around there.
Okay, so it became night pretty late in the running, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because for most of the people in the lobby, I guess it became night for them around like lap 14, 15.
Yeah, I think that's weird. I'm not sure. It must have been something with, how far back they were and everything. Here, I'll go look back at the stream.
Yeah, I was a little interested because I was talking to him. I'm like, man, I don't think we're gonna get night. It was lap 20 for me.
I was night at lap 19.
Yeah, it was lap 20 for me, and I was like, man, we're not gonna get night at all, are we? And they're all like, it's dark. I'm like, no, it's not. It's 2 p.m. It was different on my screen, so I had a bit of a time advantage too. I was kind of interested if what you were seeing on your end, but yeah, no, a little interesting.
A little interesting, a little bit of game glitch. Never hurt nobody. We'll go to our champion then, who locked it up 2 races ago. But once again continues his domination of this series. I mean, I don't really have any questions for you. Besides, I guess I have one. What happened there with that little incident before you, I think, pit for the second to last time? You had a little bit of a shunt, I should say. Good one.
Oh, sorry. I had a little bit of a shunt. Yeah, I did. Just broke too late. Wasn't paying attention really, just like this interview. Apologies. But yeah, it was quite a comfortable race. It is my home track, so it would have been. It's kind of expected, and I've done a lot of Bathurst 1000 races, lots of Bathurst 12-hour races, so I've got a lot of experience at this track. So yeah.
Yep, the Aussie gets it done in Australia. Who could have predicted that one? That's wild. But that's about it for here in the Group 3 Masters season. I mean, Ridwan Hamza dominates the season, wins by over 100 points over AJ Knickel, who brought it home P2 in this race. Let me pull up the sponsors here so we can read those off if it'll ever load. That would be great. Great. Should have had this loaded and ready, but I didn't because I'm mad. Where are they? Where are they? Go off this one. Alright. Wow. My phone is really, really doing me in tonight. This is great. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we'll thank some of our sponsors here. We got DIVEBOMB, the title sponsor of the league, SimLeague Pro, James McAdam, AJ Knickel Decide, Burning Designs, Burning Rubber Podcast, Sim Market Wraps. I think that is how you pronounce that. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Simrap Market.
Simrap Market. Alright, I was close. I was close, alright. And that's it for our sponsors. Thank you to all those for supporting the league. And that's it for the stream in the Group 3 Masters season. Congrats to Ridwan Hamza on his championship. I'm Travis Smith.